back to figuring out how Ember looks. Ember is sweet, cool rogue dad, and I'm gonna figure him out today. I swear to heck. Yeah, so along the same veins of last week, I'm trying to focus on one design and really polish it before moving on to the next one, which is still hard for me, because like for weeks I've been like, I'm gonna do it this way, of having all my characters in a line and then figuring it out later. But now I have to pivot my focus, and it's weird, and I'm still getting used to it. But I'm liking the results. It's definitely interesting with Ember, where like I've had several sessions of like trying to figure him out, and like I'm slowly getting there. He's been a bit tricky, and I definitely think it was because at the beginning I went in the wrong direction with him, because I wasn't talking to Bones. I didn't know what I wanted to do with him. Or I thought I did, but turns out it's not what Bones was picturing as his character. So yeah, so I had to change things up. But yeah, so it's taken a while, and now I feel like we're finally on the right direction, and he's looking like a cool raccoon dad. It has been so hot the past, like, week. Like, we have just been hiding in our basement because, oh my gosh, like, you sit upstairs and you melt. And you go outside and it's like walking into a wall of heat. It's been, like, consistently 30 degrees Celsius and then feels like 45 degrees Celsius. My house is screeching. But yeah, so it's been real hot, so we've been staying inside and getting lots of work done. Admittedly, Bones and I are like homebodies anyway, so we wouldn't have gone out, but yeah. The dogs have been sad because they don't get to go for WALKs. I'm not going to say the word because they're in the room and they're going to freak out. But yeah, so we've been just melting and working. And I was dog sitting for one of my friends in her air-conditioned house last week, and I miss it. I miss it so much. So yeah, while recording this footage, like, to get the lighting right to have like the sketches appear on screen properly, we had to like shine a light right above the sketchbook and where I'm drawing. Oh my god, it was so hot while working. I was like, please, when is my timer up? I really want to just get out of the heat. And I was a whiny baby through the whole drawing process, and Bones left because he got too hot. But I did not have the luxury of leaving. Oh well. The things you do for art, like sweat. Ugh. It's also been tough with, like, doing digital art as well, because, like, I'll have the tablet or the computer on my lap, and then, like, and it heats up like no one's business. Like, oh my gosh, it's like, my lap is on fire! Please help! So yeah, summer is tough. Oh, and my car doesn't have air conditioning, so whenever I go for a drive, like, home from work or something, I'm, like, pouring sweat the entire time. It is terrible. Though it hasn't been as bad as when I went to Anime North back in May, where, like, that weekend was so crazy hot. It was, like, 40 degrees outside, and it was, like, so the Friday I left, it was 40 degrees, and it stayed that way until, like, after that weekend. Like, the whole weekend was just crazy hot. No other weekends were like that for a while after and before it. And so I got out onto the 401 and we realized, oh shoot, this car doesn't have AC, because it was the first time we needed it. And I was stuck in traffic on the 401 for like an hour or 2 hours or whatever it was. And like, I was just drenched in sweat, and I was like, oh god, I did not bring enough changes of clothes for this weekend, because I need to change when I get to this con, but I only have so many shirts. So yeah, so I had to wear a PJ shirt one day. So if you saw me at Anime North and I was wearing like an extra large t-shirt, it is because that was my pajamas. So apparently Fado, our tiny dog, has broken Bones' computer. He just touched it with his paw and it broke. It froze. Whoops. He's a powerful dog. So, like, I guess this vlog today is just me talking about my life instead of about art. But it's been a crazy few months and I haven't talked about it very much because I've been focused on, like, just putting out content and, like, working my butt off. But, like, yeah, these past couple months, weeks, it feels like it's been months, but it's only been, like, a month or so. But yeah, big changes have happened. Like, so at the end of May, I lost my job. Like, there were some layoffs in the company I was at, and so I was like, well, what do I do? And then it was, like, a week and a half of, like, scrambling around and trying to get interviews at other places. And luckily, I was hired by another job, still doing graphic design. And, like, I met them, and they, like, I did, like, their application process, and then the next day I got a phone call from them and then invited to an interview the following day, and like super quickly, like, they got me like into an employment program and like wanted to hire me. And then I had to deal with a bunch of like dealing with like getting into the employment program and getting off EI, which is employment insurance, which I just applied for like a week before, and then I had to cancel it to get into the employment program. I bought a car from Bones' stepdad because I needed a way to get to work because it's on the other side of town, and like we've been dealing with that, so trying to get like the car e-tested and ready for a safety, and it's been busy. And then on top of that, we're like, let's get all our videos done and have a good time. Oh, right. Oh my gosh. And the Kickstarter for the Magpie was also going on during that time with like the job search stuff. And yeah. My brain's a little fried. And like we put out, like Bones and I decided to do like a big rebrand for McKay & Gray in the same time span. And a big part of it was because, like, we noticed that, like, we were feeling really burnt out on a bunch of our projects, and, like, we were doing a lot of stuff that just wasn't working, which is in part why I've done a few videos on, like, logos and branding, is because that's on my mind right now while we rebrand McKay & Gray. And so, like, geez, it feels like it's been so long because all this stuff has happened, but, oh well. Lots of juggling plates and stuff. But yeah, so meanwhile, Bones and I have been, like, restructuring things in our work process and, like, being a bit more thoughtful behind what projects we work on. Like, we were like, okay, convention season is, like, upon us. We should probably put together some merch for our next big show. Let's focus on getting our books out because the Kickstarter was successful. We really weren't expecting that. Just because, like, partway through the campaign, we were like, oh, we're probably not gonna, like, make enough to finish this. And then right at the end, this really sweet person, like, reached out to, like, a bunch of their contacts and started, like, sharing our Kickstarter, and we got it funded just through that, which was amazing. So then we're like, okay, let's do this. Let's get this Kickstarter stuff done. So it's really changed, like, our focus. So part of that is I am focused on creating the Magpie books. Like, I mean, they're part of the Kickstarter, so we need to, like, really dig down and get that stuff done, so that we can print the books ASAP and ship them out to people, because that's something I learned in our first Kickstarter, where we didn't have all our artwork done, and it took a really long time to get done, and it took a long time to ship out our books. So hopefully we'll get the new books out super quick and get them into these wonderful people's hands. So yeah, we really need to get, well, we're also hoping to get these books ready for, like, the convention we're going to, and by that I mean Fan Expo in Toronto at the end of August. I don't know why I'm being vague about it. That's where we'll be at the end of August. But yeah, so we've been putting together, like, merch, because for the past few years we've been doing, like, a lot of the same, where we have, like, a few prints. Honestly, we've had, like, the same prints for, like, 3 years now, and, like, they're pretty terrible, and we're trying to refresh, like, what we want to do with those, make new prints. We're slowly moving away from, like, putting out fan work, and we're focusing more on putting out more books, putting out, like, original prints, buttons, We're looking into making zines. So we're looking into printmaking, and by that I mean like lino block or maybe screen printing. Not sure what we want to do with that, but we know we want to do something with it. And then also putting together like an online store so that even when we're not at conventions, we can still make and sell this stuff. As you guys may have seen with like our Scourge of 9 pre-orders, and our store is always in our description where you can buy lots of our books. But yeah, in the past we're doing a lot of the same stuff over and over again, and we were like, you know what, we're not growing as much as we want to, so let's try something new and see where it takes us. So I'm like really excited for all the projects we have coming up. We also sat down and really started thinking out a strategy for like what we want to do with this channel too, like planning out videos and like future like events, I guess. So things like, you know, Inktober challenges and like video series we want to do. So it's been very exciting, very busy, but I am super thankful that I have Bones who can handle all the planning and organization of that. Like, he's been great with like ordering supplies and like keeping everything on schedule. So like, bless. Yeah, I'm really mean to him sometimes. I'm a grumpy artist sometimes. I'm sorry, boo. Kisu. And we are, I think I mentioned this in the last video, but we are definitely putting together the next 9-point issue instead of like an entire big volume book, so that we can start putting out pages faster and get it into your hands so you can read it, which is really exciting, so that we're not sitting on this work for a super long time. And yeah, I'm really excited to make another comic book. Oh yeah. Bones is off to the side feeding me news, because he keeps on top of this stuff. I did not. I just draw the stuff. Anyways, so in addition to Fan Expo, we're also going to, was it? We're also going to Forest City Comic Con, which is in London, Ontario. And we're also going to the Eden Mills Writing Festival. I don't know where that one is. It's in Eden Mills. Okay. Still in Ontario. We are in Ontario-based cuties. So that's where we do all our conventions. Though we are planning to branch out to other Canadian cons. So yeah, so we'll also be there in the fall. I believe it's like September and October? Oh, they're both in September. Who knew? So yeah, so we'll also be there if you want to say hello. I guess I should talk about my art and what I'm drawing. So again, like previously, I am really focusing on fleshing out Ember. So I was working with like different expressions, trying to figure out like what kind of face shape fits him. I think I went a little too like cute to begin with. That's usually like where I start because it's my default. Yeah, I started to try and make him look a little more like adult. Like I tried like making his snout a little longer, giving him those like sassy adventurer eyes. I don't know. His shape is also based off like triangles, so like I really tried to make sure I wasn't making his face too circular and really focusing on making it triangular, because I want him to look like his own character and not like Princess Lace. So yeah. And then to finish it off, I started working on an outfit for him, which is super exciting because I finally get to like clothe him and figure out what he'd wear, because it really helps with like getting your character's personality to shine through. I mean, their personality should shine through their shape and their expressions and stuff, but it's also cool to see like how would they dress themselves. So inspiration I took was like, I just kept imagining like a really Robin Hood-y looking guy, which I mean makes sense. He's like a cool archer man raccoon. So but again, I just focused on like triangle shapes, so I gave him like a vest and that has like a triangular pattern on it. I experimented like with patches on him because I wanted his design to feel a little similar to Marble. I don't know if I've shown off as of yet on these vlogs, but anyways, he has patches on his clothing. They are family, so it makes sense that they'd have similar clothing. A little based off Marble and a little based off of cool roguish archer boys. I think that's all I have for this week. Thank you for listening to me rant about my life and how crazy it's been. Things are starting to settle down, which is really, really nice. It'll be nice to just sit and relax and take a breath. And I've been super enjoying, like, being productive in new ways, because it was definitely a lot of, like, scrambling to create new comic pages all the time, which can work sometimes, but it always felt like I was just behind on work and felt like I was running to catch up to, like, in a race that wasn't even, like, going anywhere. I don't know. That's a bad analogy, but it definitely felt like I was putting a lot of work into stuff that wasn't making much of a difference. So it's nice to switch gears and really focus on, like, new fun stuff that we've wanted to do for a while anyways. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or if you'd like to request a video topic, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more videos about webcomics and character design and writing. And yeah, stay cool. It's hecking hot out there. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!